Gobble gobble, gobble gobble, gobble gobble gobble, gobble, gobble gobble, gobble gobble gobble.
Agreed. I'm Commander Leonhardt, and I'm super excited to be here on comms with. Apparently, I'm on comms with the turkey. No one told me, but we will roll with this. For the Pink Puff League Community Club showcase for this week, using the popular Lunar Tour flag set.
Yes, indeed. It is the lovely Pink Puffs doing their best to go around the moon, see what all they can find, and see if they can complete it quickly. As Commander said, I am Gambit017, happy to join you tonight on this wonderful Thanksgiving Day here in the United States of America. Anything we should be looking forward to in this particular flag set, Commander?
Moon plays. The 6 objectives are the 6 boss spots on the moon, and 5 of them are needed. And so, obviously we need to find a darkness crystal, but then the question quickly becomes, am I ready for the moon? How rude is the moon going to be? If it's super rude, I really need to get ready, but if it's real easy, I could spend a lot of time bracing myself for something that really isn't unnecessary. So that's going to be the big question, is when does the darkness crystal come, and if it comes early enough, will there be a gambling risky dive, or will the runners decide to play it safe?
I'm personally rooting for a starting darkness crystal just to see how our Puffs handle the panic of an instant go mode.
I'm rooting for Firebird Lover's naming scheme not to happen. I participate in Whamageddon every year, and I'd prefer not to be knocked out right now.
I completely agree, but that'll be up to our restreamer Harumph, who is doing all the behind-the-scenes work, making sure we have lovely pictures playing. We also have Antidel doing our tracking for us today. Without them, we wouldn't be able to really put on a very good show. It'd just be us talking over nothingness, so definite shout-outs to them.
Agreed. Doing the real work. Also, the edge start, which was guaranteed on these flags, not rolled, is interesting. Guarantees that you can knock through the overworld pretty readily, although the Neki flag is on, taking a little bit off that, but still. A couple of darts, good speed, and just a very good character to build around in the early game.
Yeah, look for a lot of early looting, trying to find something you can dart, short swords, slumber swords, maybe even a mute knife or a dancing dagger. Anything you can dart to kind of get some quick offense out before starting some of these main chests. A lot's going to depend on who our second character is. If it's another high HP character like a Sid, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone just go ahead and run Ordeals or even Baron in right off the bat.
Yeah, that would be a good play under those circumstances, definitely. To answer your question, Beowulf, Whamageddon is a challenge imposed here in the United States where the goal is to get through the Christmas season without hearing the song Last Christmas by Wham.
Or by any of the millions of people who have covered it.
No, covers are fine. It has to be specifically by Wham to knock you out.
Okay. Anyway, we start with a Legend Sword, and we start with everyone's favorite old man.
But not a Darkness to go with it. I was bracing myself. Simply a Legend Sword this time.
Yeah, I was calling for the Tela to start with. And I was calling for the Tela Dart to start, but hey, I got half of my wish. I'm good.
You did, and you are the champion of Telelife, so probably the more important part from your point of view.
It's going to be interesting to see who goes where to start with. Again, we do have our 2 feature runners today. Cubs Rule on the right, Firebird Lover on the left. They are not the only 2 running this particular race. We have 19 entrants total today, so we will keep you abreast of any finishes that come up while we are watching these 2 go. Looks like both of them making the standard play over towards either Hobbs or the Waterfall, or Watery Pass. Pretty standard opening starts.
Yeah, we are on T standard for this race, so all chests are equal. This is not a situation of Wildish or Pro where the loot is significantly better here, but it's still a decent place to get started. You have Exit on Tella, one of the main reasons he's very popular early on. So you can get out of here pretty quickly.
Cubs Rule finding everyone's favorite laughing boss, that is Ha 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 Miss Golbez up on Hobbs, guarding an Edward. Not really wanting to keep. Firebird Lover did find a Gungnir Spear in one of the first chests there in the Watery Pass. That is going to be a good dart that can easily power you through one of the early bosses.
Yeah, there are only, aside from a little bit of RNG, the only things that go into dart damage are the level of edge and the attack power of the weapon. Gungnir is going to be more than enough for a lot of these early spots that only have 1,000 or 2,000. But hey, guess what? There's another one in Antlion Cave. Welcome to T Standard, where any chest can go up to tier 5.
In the meantime, Cubs Rule finding a perfect boss for the starting set. That is the dolls down in Antlion. One flame from Edge should take all 6 dolls out, no worries. And we will have our first key item check off the board.
Yep, one of several different reasons that its Edge start is so wonderful. Oh hey, Party Rock.
Oh yeah, Earth Crystal is going to open up the Troya Treasury. That is 18 chests that on T Standard are not really too much to write home about, but you never know. And with this party this early, that's going to be a nice infusion. At the very least, of stuff you can sell for some money to buy some things.
Yeah, I'd be willing to take it this early as well. I mean, I'm not going to stop looting this early, so as you say, 18 chests all lined up in 2 rows, then we can make that happen. And as Berserk now in chat is pointing out, there's also the public treasury to grab while we're in the area.
Oh yeah, that's another 9 treasure chests as well, so plenty of stuff to buy. There we go. Life potions and cabins here in the pass shop. Not a bad find. Definitely want those life potions, because you never know when you might need to use a life on somebody.
Yeah, and didn't see the usual friendly stack of life potions from beginning. Our start kits are 3 grab bags, so nice random assortment of gear, but not so much in terms of the staple consumables.
Yeah, but looks like Cubs Rules is heading over to that treasury. It's time to play everyone's favorite game.
Treasury!
See what catches our eye, keeping in mind that it is T Standard. Oh, have a ninja shirt. Sure.
I mean, this treasury has not looked bad so far. There's some decent items. The ninja sword, ninja shirt. You got a black shirt I saw in there. I mean, full moon, drain spear. I would give this particular treasury probably an 11 out of 10.
Factoring in the T Standard, yes. And factoring in the people we're working with. Like you said, Charm Rod, Black Shirt, Tella will appreciate that, especially when it makes it through ordeals and has something more useful than Fire 1 at his disposal, but not complaining now. We will absolutely take a Ninja Shirt early on for its quite insane physical defense.
That plus Full Moon plus Ninja Sword on Edge, you can pretty much chop down anything on this overworld now in 1 or 2 hits. But that is
Let's test that with some sushi.
That's a Porum, if I'm not mistaken, and an Antlion here in the guard spot. This is one of the best places to see Antlion because 400 hit points are going to go down in 1 hit.
I was confused about the sprite. I thought I saw Octomom tentacles, but those were Antlion horns.
That's right, you were just confounded by the doctor that was behind them.
Apparently.
Yeah, Antlion's a good thing to see in the front spot, and Daughter Luga is a great thing to see in this back spot because of the way their scripts are handled and the split HP. This fight is not going to be any type of threat for this party whatsoever. Cubs should be able to get through this pretty dang easily as long as the gas here misses Edge, which it does. It hits Tella instead. We don't mind. Tella can sleep as long as he wants. this fight's over.
And with that, Edge showing why he can carve up an overworld. Hey, it's a rat tail.
Not too particularly useful at the current moment, but hey, it is a key item on the way to 10, and you never know, you could find the hook, and it could either be darkness or possibly a magma key hiding behind that rat tail. Meantime, Firebird Lover did go find that Golbez up on Hobbs and said nope, and reset out instantly.
Yeah, we can no longer hope for the Earthless Zot because, well, we already have an Earth Crystal, and Demisted Magus Sisters just doesn't have the same flavor when you already have your Earth Crystal.
No, you always want to Demisted Magus Sisters when you don't have the Earth Crystal, because that means you went up there purely on hope and dreams, or necessity, depending on what you have found.
Or maybe tears, but funny how those go hand in hand sometimes.
Cubs is doing a little bit of shopping. He's going to go check some shops. Found some vampires over here in Mysidia. Good to find, but not really needed in this early game. And by the time we really need them, really not going to be useful anymore.
Yeah, Edge removes the need for a lot of those J items that would get you through early battles. He provides the DPS you're looking for. Just off his regular attacks, we've been seeing vampire level damage, and if things get really sticky, there's, as previously mentioned, some Gungirs to throw.
Yeah, but Cubs Rule is going to say, hey, let's go ahead and try to take on this Ordeals. Let's get some spells on our Tella. Maybe get some spells on our newly acquired Porum, so she can start learning how to level up, and go from there.
Yeah, Edge might be good to go, but it doesn't hurt to get the supporting cast ready, especially for Porum. Her HP curve is bad enough that you want her leveling up as much as you can possibly manage. She's a popular slingshot target for that reason.
Yeah, but that is everyone's favorite Nope Noodle here on top of Ordeals in the first spot. Not necessarily the hardest thing in the world at this particular spot. It's still annoying with those big waves that are going to take half your health.
Yeah, we can't do anything about the big waves, regardless of the spot we're in, but at least the punches in this spot will not cause much trouble. Interesting to see Edge knock Porum down. Might be preserving for a slingshot then.
So the only thing I can think of is, keep the Porum down, maybe, again, anchor situation later, or as we said, that slingshot. Again, not necessarily a bad option, just interesting to see, but Edge should be able to easily solo this Ogopogo, especially now that he's back at full health thanks to Tella's tier 2s.
Yeah, it's a legitimate play, and I suspect not for the anchor reason. Everybody's favorite anchor is right up there on the other side of the party.
No. Everyone's favorite anchor is up on Hobbs, facing down a certain Golbez in the current moment.
Slander! Let Eddie hit things.
In the meantime, we find Karate on the backside of Hobbs. We get to kick around the world, always a fun thing to see. Also means that there is no way to cheese him because there's no way to get past him with it and have a paladin at this fight, so you've got to go through his hit points.
I have not seen kick around the world in a while. It's good times.
Cubs Roll showing the power of Edge, gets through that fight with absolutely no difficulty. Down goes to Karate, and we will about to have a Tella that knows all their spells.
Yeah, even a Val here wouldn't be a problem. Just throw a spear at it.
So we need to see what key item we get from here, because I believe the only places we haven't seen yet are Fabul and Zot. And FBL, Fiber Lover, looks like he's going up Zot.
Making the aggressive play.
I'd love to see
how
it.
that turns out. Yeah, Edge has a lot of power, and with those gun gears, like there is 9,000 hit points to chew through in that spot, and we now know it's the way, more likely now, since we've got a pink tail in ordeals.
50-50 shot of getting that hook or magma key from either Fabul or Zot. Mylon and friends here in the room, that's going to be an easy free fight. Yeah, Cubs are going to get through this pretty darn
Indeed.
fast. To answer
One
question,
flame
chat, yes.
takes care of the.
Yeah, this is the these moon only objectives. This particular flag set is the Lunar Tour flag set, which is all the lunar objectives. Cave Bahamut, Mura, Masa, Crystal Swords, White Spear, and Ribbon Altars. Complete 5 of 6, and that gets you go mode in this particular race. Meantime, we find the Dark Imps in the Magus Sister spot. This is not too terribly bad. This spot's not too punchy. It's going to be a little annoying because they do have a decent amount of hit points each, but nothing too bad.
We'll just see what the Grimoire roll is.
I mean, you don't hate to see it, but you would have rather had an AoE one.
Yeah, that's not what was in mind. Odin, if it hit, would be superb. Bahamut, Leviathan, good times. Sylph, yeah.
Yeah, you don't mind seeing Sylph there because I mean it gives you that free heal, but at the same point you would have rather something with the AoE. Meantime, Cubs is about to show us.
Doing his best with that lit one.
Yeah, Cubs is about to show us if Zot is to play or if Fabul is to play because he is in Fabul at the moment. Finds a Soma drop in the shop. Might be going, yep, saving up enough. Should see one used on Teller right here.
I'm liking suggestions from chat. Recall Strats from Xenocat. Use the Charm Rod to charm one of them for Rybon, since they are not bosses in the strictest sense of the word. They're vulnerable to such things. Thank you for the raid, Gamba Magus. Good to see you and your friends.
Oh, and Teller with the fatal recall.
And a hit. Nice.
Oh, that's the thing of beauty. You love to see that happen.
Xenocat with the call.
In the meantime, Cubs Rule finding a turtle up here in Fabul. Going to make very quick use of it, or yeah, going to make it into turtle soup very quickly. And also for Fiber Lover, this is what this play is going to turn into. This is 2 new characters, so we're about to find out who's up here.
I'm hoping that Zot and Fabul both have chain items so that the question remains unresolved. Let's go for a Baron Key in one and a Twin Harp in the other. Glad to see my boy Cecil, though.
Yep, Cecil in the first spot here in Zot. About to find out who is underneath the big old bowling ball. In the meantime, Cubs Rule is going to pick up the pan. Yeah, so Zot is the way, barring a cheeky Demus somewhere in Mist Cave or Waterfall.
I can appreciate the please and Lord joined. I can appreciate that. But I can also appreciate the pan for Fabul defense. A lot of runners like to put off Sylph Cave until they get the pan, and consequently like to put off Fabul until then too. So the pan there is gonna hurt you for that.
Cubs finding the Lunars in the waterfall. It'll be nice not to have to face them. Probably going to check Mist Cave next for vanilla D-Mist. Meantime, we find the Elements fight up here at the top of Zot. That is actually not too bad of a fight if you can push through at the very least the Ruby phase fairly quickly here.
I expect a one-shot. Oh, you know, I thought that dart was going to have enough to get the job done. But nope, and now we are in trouble. Officially in trouble.
Yeah, you've got to
This
move
spot,
fast because, yeah.
this spot has very high magic power. The developers did not want to take any chances with Valvalis, who's the normal boss in this spot, missing with any of her spells. So they put the magic power through the roof. So you get someone like Ruby here, and from the Elements phase, yes, it's going to be a time for you.
It might actually be a thing if Firebird Lover remembers it. Maybe use Flame first, followed into a dart. That might be enough to skip the transition and take out the fight right off the bat.
Possibly, or maybe even just walk around a little bit. Let Tella start things off with a nice Cure 4 to the face. If you give Mylon a second to remember that he's a zombie, then you can hammer him with some Cure spells. So maybe Cure 4 spell to trigger the transition and walk back into Edge's turn after that for the dart.
The problem is Firebird Lover has not done Ordeal, so his Tella does not have Cure 2 or Cure 4, so...
That, to be fair, is an issue. Everything I said, but with Cure 2.
Cubs, after buying a Soma drop, finds a free Soma drop in Zot. Probably regretting spending that 20,000 right now, but you know what? It is what it is.
You can't take it with you when you finish the seed.
I'm going to go with for a straight attack here first. That actually might get 200 damage. That should not trigger. And now the dart, especially a Drain Sphere dart, might be enough.
Gonna poke it a little more.
Yeah, I'll have to see at what point Firebird Lover decides to go for the dart. Because there's a transition, and now you're on borrowed time.
Pushed it too far. Get that dart out quick. He'll survive the fire too.
There we go. He's got it. He's got it. That was well done. That is a rough fight to get through because of those Fire 2, Fire 3's glares from Rubicante in that form. But chipping it down until we got the transition and then darting, well done by Firebird Lover. It's going to be the first one through Zot. We'll have to see if this ends up chaining, as you said, maybe Twin Harp or Baron Key, or if this gives us our direct access on the ground. That's a vanilla magma key. And Cubs Roll is having some difficulty with these Dark Imps. Tella missed a Stone Cast, and those Imps punch hard. And unfortunately, there is a white for him.
That's a rough spot. It's understandable. Cubs Rule, no slouch at this. Give him another shot, and I expect he'll do a lot better. But good point, Berserk now. Tasty, tasty vanilla. That is the Magma Keys vanilla location.
Meantime, Cubs Rule does get through those Dark Imps this time, so going to take the safety save. Don't blame him there. And then pick up his 2 new characters and have his turn at elements. In the meantime, Firebird Lover is going up Ordeal. Says, "Hey, I kind of need some spells for my Tella. Let's get this done real fast." Not to mention the fact wants to turn that paladin into a paladin.
Right. Since Tella apparently wasn't a good enough reason, Cecil should be enough reason to head over there.
Have we seen any good Cecil weapons at the current moment?
No. It's T standard, so if we open enough chests, we should find a lightsaber. Anything better than that, we're going to have to go after trap chests or missed key item checks.
Oh, I just thought of something Cubs is going to have that Firebird Lover did not for this particular fight, assuming he decides to raise that Porum.
Does a poison axe count as a good Cecil weapon?
No.
I didn't think so.
Our tracker right to the yellow chat agrees. No. But Cubs rule, if decide to raise that Porum, would have access to twin magic. Does not, is actually going to take Cecil down, probably wanting to preserve the slingshot.
Yeah, hoping to find that. Well, he's just going after everybody. Maybe a last second thought on who should be getting the slingshot decides, no, mages. Mages deserve slingshots.
Yeah, that looks like it was probably the decision, saying, hey, I've got a paladin and a Porum, I could slingshot both of them, or I could slingshot a Cecil and Porum. I think Cecil's more important now. Let's get him to levels now, we'll slingshot the kids later.
Yeah, because of the way slingshots work, you can never slingshot more than 2 characters. So, Poison Axe versus Ice Brand for Cecil. Discuss.
Ice Brand, 100% of the time. Accuracy. Accuracy is king.
And you get to use a shield.
And you get to use a shield.
Because let's be fair, if these are your choices for Cecil, you're probably reverting to cover stress.
I don't know. If we find that hook, though, we do have a pigtail.
It's true. Quickly checks for the adamant flag. No adamants.
Ah.
So, could be a crystal sword or an Excal.
Alright, so Firebird Lover is through the 2 spots on the bridge here on Ordeals. Is about to walk into the crystal room, pick up their paladin, and get Tella his spells. In the meantime, Cubs Rule is taking a second stab at these elements up here.
It's an early rude test. And it's doable, as Firebird Lover has already proven, and as we knew. But it's not something you're just going to waltz through. And especially part of the issue for Cubs Rule is that he's taking time to set up the slingshot. Firebird Lover had no such concerns and just went straight at it.
There we go. He's queuing the Fire 3 with Tella. As long as Tella lives long enough to hit this fight should be over. And Element actually did them a solid and took Cecil down to preserve the slingshot on Cecil too. So why not?
Quad 9s, yeah, we're done here.
As is Cubs Rule saying, who needs extra characters? Edge and Tella started things for me. They can get through this fight. It's fine.
And Firebird Lover are now dealing with their own legally distinct thriller.
Zombie party in the crystal room. Everyone's invited.
finishing that up right as Cubs Rule finishes up and gets the magma key.
Yep, Cubs has
Firebird Lover hasn't done.
Cubs has a little bit of
full defense or Baron in.
Correct. Yeah, it's got 2 checks ahead. Those checks being the Rat Tail and the Pan, respectively. It'll be interesting if Firebird Lover decides to take either of those 2 checks before pushing underground, or goes and says, "Hey, I've got this shiny new Paladin. Let's get underground."
My guess is to go straight underground. After that, not sure. Not sure if Firebird Lover has enough faith in this edge to go after Dwarf Castle. Was willing to chase Zot with it, and that worked out pretty well. But we'll see if he continues to push or settles down a little and goes for Feymarch Shreeby into Sheila 1.
I might actually do a quick shop check, see if we can find a Siren, and pump my Cecil up that way. Get him some quick levels that way.
Yeah, I like that. We are on S standard, so getting through to a gated shop brings the Sirens along with other goodies.
Now, that is a good shop right there in Agart. That is Other Twos and Starveils. Both things you definitely want to see in this seed.
Yeah, a lot of bosses you're going to want that Starveil to get through. We've left Golbez behind on Hobbs, and I'll be surprised if we go back. But there's Wyverns, there's Bahamets, there's Asura. If you want to double Starveil, there's a lot of times where those items come in handy.
Wyvern, Bahamut, Asura, oh my. But speaking of Sirens, Cubs Rules finds them immediately in the Tomra item shop. So we know where they are now.
Selling because, yeah, because quite frankly, you'll make your living off of those. You don't need to go for diversity in your shop. Firebird Lover being a little more thorough with the shopping, going to the rarely seen weapon and armor shop in Agart. If you're willing to sell the farm, you can get yourself an Ogre Axe for 45,000.
Yeah, if I have money later on, maybe, but right now, probably not. Or you could just wait till you get to the Feymarch to pick up that Ogre Axe for free, as Cubs Rule just showed us.
Antidale. Tomra has wares if you have coin.
Cubs Rule is going to check the item shop here and then exit out. Not even going to check the bosses. It'll be interesting to see if Demist ends up in the Feymarch. If that decision might come back to haunt Cubs Rule later on.
Could be. With it only K-Main, they can't possibly be holding key items. Pause for Jow Dwarf identification. We have a telecommunications line installer. But, yeah, they can't possibly hold key items, but as you rightly point out, one of the bosses could be Demist, and that would lead to a key item.
Yep, and if she was hiding the Darkness Crystal, that could lead Cubs Rule on a very, very long rabbit hole. Also, worth pointing out, Firebird Lover actually looted the treasury back in Tomra, showing us that Job Dwarf. There was a Dwarf Axe and a Siren back there.
And we knew the Pambonk would not be a key item, but Life Staff? Yeah, we'll take it. We have a Porum.
Never underestimate the power of a Porum with a Life Staff. She can go burn when she needs to. Firebird Lover picking up 5 Sirens right now. Do not blame him for this. Might be interesting to see him go and take some eggs right now. Meantime, Cubs Rule is going to go turn in Sheila 1 and Sheila 2 at the same time.
Efficiency.
package and harp.
Well, the package exists. The harp, as far as Harumph is concerned, exists grudgingly, but for the rest of us, we are very excited for the possibility of harp music.
So we need to see what Cubs Rule decides to do first. If he goes back underground or if he goes straight over to that Trin Harp. Looking like we're going to check and see who the package and Sand Ruby characters are starting off.
Tis a fair call, to be sure.
It's a Yang in the bed, and you know it's a slingshot target, but one I don't really see us taking at any point this season. Not with the characters we've seen on hand so far.
Yeah, we have two very good slingshot targets in our twins, and mages, if you want them to be heavily contributing to a Z fight, need a lot more XP, so not at all surprised to see Yang passed up on.
Meantime,
Fiber level heading into Dwarf Castle, though. Yeah, finally get my sushi.
And that is an Octomom in the front spot. And we know from doing Azat earlier that in the back spot is going to be Ashura.
Whereas the back spot Bahamut, Asura I thought was in Marin.
It might be Bahamut. It's one of those two. I know one of them was at Vigan, the other was at Dwarf 2. I don't honestly remember which one was which.
But I was wondering if this would be a play, but both runners are going straight for it. Ah, thank you, Beowulf. I am the one confused.
I mean, you've got Edge, you've got Cecil. This is a very, very doable fight, especially once you see it's Octomam. Octomam's whole spiel is every 3 hits you get against her, she slows down. And if you can berserk your party and get them just swinging for the fences, yeah, you'll be able to absolutely pour through the damage before she can even get some moves off. So,
yeah, and it was a slow spot to begin with.
So it should be interesting to see in the second fight how many of our runners kept their rune axe. Because that Ashura, give that rune axe to that Cecil, that could be nice and easy.
Just have to keep Cecil up for the first fight so that Cecil's not level 1. That'd be cool. 19 seems much better.
The biggest thing for Fiber Lover at this point is going to be who is the character here. Fiber Lover still only has 4 party members. This will give them the 5th, whereas Cubs Rule already has the 5. See if it's anyone he wants to replace.
Hey, about that rune axe.
That is someone who can definitely use it. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't foresee Cubs Rule swapping anyone out for said Sid, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Yep, nope. Dismiss the Sid. Not surprising.
Yeah, he's got a good party as it is. Not the only thing I might see happening is swapping Porum for Rosa.
Yeah, I think that'd be a swap that pretty much any of our runners would make this early. But Fiber Lover is through. Cubs Rule I expect to be through very, very shortly thereafter.
It's not a ghost hand, but it'll have to do. Kind of vanilla hand.
A little bit. It's a nice shade of blue. I don't think it's exactly Golbez blue, but it's close.
What is Dwarven jewelry today?
It's vanilla.
Tasty, tasty vanilla. That puts us at 2. Vanilla Magma Key, Vanilla Luca Key. It's not going to be a Vanilla Baron Key. We know that much. But it could still be a Vanilla Tower Key.
Could also be a vanilla darkness crystal down that Luca cave.
Definitely. With a vanilla evil wall, which would not be the rudest thing.
See a little bit of divergence. Firebird Lover heading back over to the Fame Arch for the first time. Check what's down there. Whereas Cubs Rule is going to make that trek up the tower. See what's up here in the Tower of Babel.
Firebird Lover finds the warrior chest very quickly. It's the only trap chest in this section, so they're free to loot the rest of the chests, not have to worry about resetting back out to the entrance.
Sometimes Cubs Rule is going to actually loot here inside of the Tower of Babel. Not sure that I'm looking particularly for said alert chest, or if they're planning to just try to see if they pull like a Excalibur or a Crystal Sword from one of these.
Yeah, not the biggest chance of pulling tier 8 in this area, just because of how non-threatening the sirens are. They're lower chances, but by the same token, low risk, and it's a non-zero chance.
Well, I mean, for this one, an apple a day keeps, I guess, the alert away. But,
yeah, we already dealt with the doctor, so...
Looks like Cubs is ignoring the rest of the chests on the way up. Let me just say, all right, let's just take on everything up here. And to see if he decides to hit those chests on the way back down.
Yeah, it might have just been a matter of convenience picking those up. We'll have to see.
Right, so in the meantime, we have found, is it nice and easy, or is it going to be a long fight?
Time will tell. And by time, I mean one mad dance by a blue-robed, maniacal villain.
Strap in, folks. We found the gauntlet.
This exists.
So, for those of you
I don't
who...
blame Cubs for seeing this through, but I would understand if he just reset out at this point.
Yeah, for those of you who might be new to Free Enterprise, we do have a thing that's called the Alt Gauntlet, which is where we take the original 6-fight Fabul Gauntlet, and instead we give you 5 fights pulled from enemies in that general vicinity of the location you're in. In this case, they're going to be pulled from the Tower of Babel. One less fight, but a lot harder enemies. So it can be rude in some spots. I know fan favorite is always going to be the Masamune altar. Or sorry, the Mursame altar, I should say. But still can be fun.
No, you had it right the first time.
I thought the Mur is top,
Masamune
Masa's
altar is
bottom.
the dreaded Ogopogo spot.
Yeah.
Murasame is pale.
Also, as our tracker Anthel pointing out, we had the rarely used cure staff there, curing everybody for double-digit damage. Not really too helpful, but you know, each little bit helps.
And the other thing about the Alt Gauntlet is that if an area has diverse enough encounter tables, you can get different Alt Gauntlets in nearby places. If we were to find this boss in the nearby Super Cannon room, for instance, it would be a slightly different set of fights.
Yes, in the exact same way, the Alt Gauntlet is different between Zot 1, Zot 2, or any of the spots in the Lunar Subterrain, or even the elements in the CPU spot on the Giant.
Yes.
So meantime, Fiber Lover's been doing a little bit of shopping here in the Feymarch. Just picked up a couple of good defensive items for his party. Is going to do a check of the two bosses down here in the Feymarch. Let's see if we have... Well, we know what the one on the left is.
To be fair, we know what the one on the right is, too.
Well, true, but he only moved over a step. The one on the left is a lot more exciting. That is a Water Hag and Leviathan. Yeah, Water Hag and Leviathan.
Is torching this. Yeah.
Oh, he might check.
If it's going. Oh, he's going to check. I'm not surprised. I would want to know which one it was, but.
I mean, you turn your battle speed down low enough. This is doable right here with this party.
Oh yes, definitely. Well, especially if you get some favorable targeting out of that Water Hag. If he keeps going after the people that have queued up your actions, well, life is miserable. Well, Beowulf, Case Summon is off, so something sweet in terms of loot is possible, but this can in no way, shape, or form yield a key item. But could be a crystal sword.
We are officially in holding and pray mode at this point. We've gotten the first attack off. Anna is asking play to fight. Not sure why, but you know, to each their own. Cecil apparently forgot to equip a
Hedge with that ninja shirt on all the way in the back row is able to actually take a punch from this, the punchiest of spots.
In the meantime, we have found our third scoop of vanilla. That was a tower key on top of tower. But Cecil punches the Water Hag out. He's through. That is a well done. And gets rewarded for it.
It could be a crystal sword. It's possible.
Cecil, you did good punching the Water Hag with your fist. Here, have this nice shiny sword.
Meanwhile, an uneventful plague in the tower room. With Ogo already down, that's the big fear of wandering into the Super Cannon room and seeing a sparkle there, that an Ogopogo is going to immediately knock you dead and make you redo things.
I may or may not have wiped to an Ogopogo in the cannon room before.
I may have remembered you telling me the story. You did indeed, Beowulf. You did indeed.
In the meantime, Fiber
There's no pan in hand.
Yeah, set up Sheila 1 without the pan. Does not know the pan is in for Bull, so she's going to probably be a little annoyed doing this and going in for Bull and getting said pan.
Yeah. What can you do?
In the meantime, Cubs is on his way back out the tower. We are about to find out what this could bring. And we are rapidly running out of spots.
This too could be vanilla.
And it is.
Vanilla.
That is our 4th scoop of vanilla for the
Vanilla
night.
tower.
Yes, a straight vanilla
At least in
key
terms
item
of
tower.
Completely vanilla.
So Cubs is saying, I've got a hook, I've got a pigtail, I've got a rat tail. Let's go ahead and raise this. Go ahead and turn those in more than likely. Might possibly check the character if he's feeling a little cheeky. I don't foresee him happening though, because the team you've got is pretty well a Zoromis team that you want to take.
We are down to locating 4 key items. But 5, if you consider the pass, while it does not count as a key item, it is in one of the key item spots.
There's a dragoon spear for the pink tail. Not necessarily great for anyone you're using, but it's at least a dart.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a good dart.
And rat tail is a pass, and Cub says no thank you.
Given the objectives, and given that his reset takes him all the way back underground, where he is going to dive sealed cave, it makes sense. There's you're going to finish probably deep in the LST if you go top down, and at that point it's a toss-up as to whether you should just walk or exit out and use the pass.
Yeah, but this reset takes you back before tower key, so we're losing 2 key items and the pass in that reset right there.
Oh, geez, I forgot it was that far back. No, okay, that is surprising then, yeah. I mean, the odds are against him caring about the hook character, but, there might be Bacchuses in that shop.
Yeah, and truth be told, you are already at 10 key items for those 2, so no loss in the double XP front that you get with the 10 key item bonus. So I can understand that. So still, it is a tad bit surprising.
Yeah, the logic tracks, as you said, but certainly a bit unexpected.
So what are we hoping for here?
Pointing out that.
So what are we hoping for here? Are we hoping for a adamant, a spoon, or Baron Key?
I'm gonna be mean and say I'm hoping for a 1 whammy. We do have 1 whammy, right?
Yes, we do.
No. Or did the pass take the whammy?
No, we still get a whammy. But yes, Ron pointing out, as you were saying, Demistic King Queen Evelyn would be absolutely tragic for Cubs at this point, because that would be an absolute last location thing. And having to sit through that Alt Gauntlet again.
Right. That's the real kicker. But alright, so we have a Baron Key.
But sadly, we've got to walk that out, because you never know, Darkness could be behind that Baron.
Easily. There's a key item check there and a couple of bosses that haven't been seen. Okay. I mean, we technically don't need to heal here.
Yeah, Cecil Edge had enough HP. They were both going to survive this no matter what. We need to talk about justice, how it's not the only right in this world. One day we might see. I'm not sure about the Cecil, but we'll take your word for it. But Cubs Rule is going to be through this Luca very quickly.
Yeah. The spot's fabled for its magic attack, and if you ever face the likes of Golbez or Odin down here, you too will see. But the Dark Wave is based more on the physical attack power side of the equation, and that's not as impressive.
Many runs have died to a wyvern down here in Luca Cave, but alas, not today. We are fine.
Right, because if there's one thing that the spot's even more fabled for than its magic power is its speed.
Oh, yes. And you never want to find a wyvern down there if you can help it.
Yes. We'll learn the value of proper anchoring if you end up with in that fight.
In the meantime, Firebird Lover
makes the warp down. Firebird Lover!
Yeah,
Go in to check the music!
Gonna be a champion of the people and go to Cave Magnus to do the Twin Harp check. So if you are somewhat new to Free Enterprise and you don't understand why we're so happy about him going to check the Twin Harp, one of the things we do in this randomizer is we randomize the lovely music that Edward plays. So we have quite a few different songs. I actually don't remember the exact number anymore. That are randomized into the pool, and it's completely random which one Edward plays. And judging by the way we've seen 4 vanilla so far this seed, I would love for some vanilla music.
Is that even a thing?
That is absolutely a thing.
Huh. Well, I trust Xena Cat. Xena Cat in chat is one of the 2 major contributors of Harp Song, Calamity being the other.
So as Firebird Lover is taking on the Dark Elf, we've got Cubs Rule diving through Baron. One of these 2 is guaranteed to end up with a key item of some sort. The other not so much. And again, we still might not find darkness in either of those 2 places.
It's been a very full clear of the overworld. But Edward is struggling out of bed in heroic fashion, wandering over to the harp, so it's time for us to be quiet and listen.
So in the meantime, because the Baron guards were hiding out in the Cave Magnus, a bomb was able to infiltrate and take over Baron.
Lacks security. But our item is a shiny rock.
All right, show me Spoon from Baron, as that would mean that Demist would hold the Darkness Crystal.
Ooh. You're an evil, evil man. Keep it up. And there wouldn't be that many locations we haven't looked at either. You'd have the Baron Basement, you'd have the King Queen Eblin, and yeah,
that is it.
That is
literally the only 2 places we have not seen as of right now.
Oh, it would be. Oh, the rudeness potential intensifies.
To answer the question in chat,
Um,
yes, Cubs did check both Mist Cave and Waterfall. They were not there. We have not checked the package box. That is a good call, Sheridan. It could be behind package.
Very good call, Sarah, and that would also be extremely rude.
Meantime, Firebird Lover decide, hey, I'm going to forge real fast. You never know. It might be something, even if it's just an X-Cal, it's a decent dart for edge.
Yeah, and it's a great shop on S Standard to have a look at, too.
But it's actually the Ashura Rod. That's going to be nice for one of our black mages.
Because we do have the Supersmith flag on.
Oh, that
The
is
shop
a
itself
shop.
has Murasames and crystal rings and ribbons, and also gold apples. I mean, Murasame is kind of just sticking out there feeling sad.
Required Luca, Darkness behind Baron.
Okay.
And everyone groans very, very much boos in the chat for that.
But if you're not familiar with the Supersmith flag, what it does is it replaces the Excalibur that is forged with a random weapon based off of the extra weapons included in the Game Boy Advance version of the game, and the Asura Rod is one of those weapons.
In the meantime, Cubs Rule is doing what is called the D-Machine Manip, the Baron Manip, is what it's technically named, even though he's doing it in front of Mysidia, which you can do it there as well. Basically, he's taking a certain number of fights to guarantee the fact that when he gets to the Giant of Babel, which is going to be his next destination, the first fight he gets is going to be the D-Machine grind that he would like to have. So...
Yeah, and there are a couple of different places this can be done. You can do this out here, outside of the Giant. You can head in and do it when you get there, but the procedure is effectively the same. By determining how long it takes you to get into a random encounter, you can figure out which of 255 distinct random encounter seeds you're in, and from then on, determine when the seed is going to throw you the D-Machine.
Which it looks like it's going to be the next one, because Cubs just turned the lovely, lovely encounters back off and is going to go raise the big whale. Meantime, Firebird Lover on the right track, going to be heading down Luca, get that Baron Key, which we know will lead to that ever-important Darkness Crystal, is going to be able to skip that whole tower chain. So what all is left that we haven't seen that could provide our runners some level of difficulty up here on the
Baigan.
Baigan is one. Val would be rude in some spaces.
That would be particularly rude. Wyvern, depending. We do have the Witchburn flag on, but we don't have Be Unsafe. So the legendary Wyverns, such as Meteor or Big Bang, are off the table, but there's still potential for foolishness. Glance, in particular, comes to mind.
Paladin in a weird spot could be a little bit of a rude boss as well.
Possibly. For Paladin, I'd expect Cecil cover strats to come into play, and either a crystal ring or a piece of Dragoon gear guarantees that he is going to get through with dragon resistance.
And to be fair, Firebird Lover did just pick up a crystal ring from that crystal shop.
Yeah. So, Paladin has the potential in general to be a rude boss, but the tools are in place for our runners here to deal with it. And in general is going to go for a lot of bosses that rely on physicals. Cecil cover strats are a thing. It's not just his ability to wield a crystal sword that makes him such a valuable party member.
Yeah, but it helps, so.
Oh, it definitely helps. No doubt.
Cubs is working his way up the giant to start his D Machine grind. Firebird Lover is warping out of the Luca Cave. Again, hopefully going to go chase that Baron immediately and move on.
I think so. I think that a Baron check is more appealing than a Twin Harp check. Much as I love Twin Harp music, I think that Baron is the more likely move.
Well, remember, Firebird Lover's already checked Twin Harp. It would be Tower check is the only other check he's got to build.
Thank you.
And it does look like we're going to be able to avoid that Alt Gauntlet and going straight for that Baron, which we know is the correct play. So Cubs is in the D Machine fight. I fully expect to see him only do 3+3 in this case. Also, I just realized Cubs dropped Cecil for Rosa.
That's Reflect Strats, if I ever heard it.
I agree. Without the Crystal Sword, I mean, remember, the best weapon Cubs had for Cecil was a Ogre Axe. So, I can definitely see that. Just a little surprising.
Agreed, but yeah, makes sense. You can commit to full Reflect Strats. Get things started a little early with some darts, maybe. And then just skip the phase change and go straight to the end of the fight. For everyone that was Greek for, Zoromis, due to limitations of the programming, does not have all the hit points the game designer wants him to have. So, partway through the fight, if you punch him in the face, he refills his hit points and starts over. Kind of like we saw the Elements fight changing shit phases earlier. But that only responds to direct attacks. If you deal your damage by bouncing it off of your own walls, you can skip that trigger and not have to deal near as much damage.
It's going to be interesting to see how many Cubs decides to do here. With 10 key items, and you're slingshotting the Rosa and the Palom, 3 and 3, which is 3 D Machines plus 3 life glitches, would be enough to get Rosa Palom up to Nuke and White respectively. The question is going to become, do you want to also get that Porum up that high? If you do, then you're looking at probably doing at least 6+6, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah. The life glitch works by giving you an extra credit for an extra kill by tossing a life potion on an enemy that you literally just defeated. That's where the 3+3 is coming in. 3 kills plus 3 life potions. Effectively, you get the XP for 6 that way.
And that looks like might be a miscalculation because that is a wipe on a D Machine. That is ouch.
And you have to redo the manip from your chosen spot. Well,
Yeah,
this is what Firebird Lover needed to come back. This is largely linear, especially after a D-Money, when you've got the firepower to charge through.
Yeah, it's one of the issues you get with bringing some of the characters you brought down, especially considering the fact you're going to get the slingshot already. There's no need to keep them down. You use those extra characters to toss potions. But, instead kept him down, everybody got into critical health, and one fire wasn't able to take you out. And that's the risk. And to be honest, everyone's done it at least once in their life that they've done D machines. Say you've taken a D machine wipe, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, the D machine grind is admired for its efficiency when everything goes right. It's a lot of experience quickly, especially if you're able to use the slingshot mechanic. You get all of your experience at once, so you can get it all doubled. But in terms of a safe grind, it is definitely not high on the list. You want safe grinds, go buy some sirens and scramble some eggs. Granted,
Meantime,
even that can go wrong. It's just a lot less likely.
I don't know if you've never died to a blitz from a yellow dragon off an egg fight. Have you really even grinded before?
I mean, technically it's a thunder off of a yellow dragon fight, but yes, I have done that.
Oh, you're right. It's the blitz. The blitz is the gold dragons. My fault.
Yes, the blitz is the gold dragons, but they're similar mechanics. Thunder, lightning-based damage based on the hit points, the max hit points of the target. Yeah.
So if I'm Firebird Lover, I'm looking for a free fight in either Cave Bahamut or the Mura Altar. Something that you can just get through real easy, pick up a nice little influx of XP, and then dive down and see what's down farther down.
It all depends. We'll have to see what Firebird Lover's plan is after. If Firebird Lover just does the same D money that Cubs is, then, you know, that's the play you want if you're just doing the aggressive moon dive.
Firebird Lover is very much against D machines, does not like doing them, so I do not expect to see them go up to do so.
I was not aware of that tendency. Then in that case, yes, completely. And Warlink, yes, I've seen it too. Warlink commenting that he's seen them try to steal sirens with a critical hit point edge and no one else alive, and you'll take something like 1 to 3 damage every time your sneak attempt fails sometimes, and I've seen that too. It hurts.
Yep, I think I remember which runner I've seen do that, and it was in their post-game interview. They said, "I have never thought I could do that before." So it was definitely a fun moment for everyone involved.
Yeah, Mylon, you're absolutely right, Red Wolf. Mylon Z at Bahamut would melt.
The only problem is we know where Mylon Z is. Mylon Z is in the ruby spot.
Aw, ruining our fun. But you're correct.
Now,
because we've already
Dark
seen
Elf.
Mylon and Friends.
Dark Elf, on the other hand.
Could be Dark Elf.
Dark Elf would be
Sure.
fun.
Would work. I think if you see Evil Wall there, you just say, you know what? It's 5 out of 6. I can go
Exactly.
elsewhere, you jerk.
I think same with Valvalis. I see Valvalis there. Yeah, I see Valvalis there. I'm like, nope, I'm out. Bye.
Oh.
Like, you can have this cave. I'm good. Thank you.
Bygone? Maybe.
Cubs looks like he's having a little bit more success with this particular D-Machine fight. Everybody is in critical HP again, but there's no D-Machine on the screen, so plenty of time to heal up and get ready for anything else. In the meantime, Firebird Lover says, hey, this is my grind. I'm going to take a couple King Ryus here.
I like it. You've got your 6 sirens. You've got enough key items that if you have a successful life glitch on one of the King Ryus, then you will walk away with a cool 180,000 experience from this fight. And an hourglass means all you have to do is worry about those first couple of punches, and life is good.
I'm not even going to bother.
Lunar was in the waterfall berserk now, if I remember right. I know we've seen it.
Yes, it was waterfall. But Firebird Lover not even going to bother with weaking the King Ryus, just zerks up their Crystal Sword Cecil, says, yeah, take your 3,000 hit point hacks and take out these Ryus. We're fine.
Cecil, go Burr. And this is just at moderate levels. And Cecil's probably going to be doing berserk swings into Zoromis for 6k or so. Depending on how far Firebird Lover takes the grind.
And so while we're looking at two different grinds on our stream, just a reminder, we do have another community race tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern. It is our standard weekly community race. I actually don't remember the flags. Do you remember what the flags are for this week, Commander?
Off the top of my head, no, I do not. But I can have a quick look through the Free Enterprise Discord. If you're not already in the Free Enterprise Discord, there's a lot of useful information and wonderful people, all related to this Free Enterprise randomizer that you see. So, if this looks interesting to you, hop on in, say hello. There are all sorts of people there that are more than happy to answer your questions about this randomizer and get you started.
We have a whole newbies channel where people a lot more knowledgeable than me can answer any question you might have. That is a free fight.
Oh my, yes. That is as free as they come. This is exactly what Firebird Lover wanted.
There's 2 reuse plus this fight. That gets you the levels you really want to go rest the way down deep dive into the moon. So this is brilliant for FBL. Cubs might have a little bit easier time with some of the fights down there, thanks to the grind he's doing now, but Firebird Lover's going to get down there first. And sometimes that's all you need to do is be the first one down there, get the first one through, and get the Zoromis.
You know, we've got 2 runners here, and one of them is going to be the first one to beat Zoromis. That's going to be the one that wins this on-screen race. The reason this fight is so free is that in the regular game, King Queen Emblem, possessed, twisted by the Mad Dr. Lugai, attack their four-son Edge and his friends, but after a short while, come to their senses, and the fight ends. The attacks also aren't that short.
In the meantime, I have looked up the flag set for the community race is Holiday Doorbusters. Basically, a lot of grab bag kit and money kit, and lots of shopping. S Wild, T Wild, money. So all your Chester monies, and yeah, lots of money to buy fun, wonderful things in the weekly. So come join us tomorrow for that if you'd like. In the meantime, both our runners, Firebird Lover through the King Queen Evelyn, Cubs through the D-Money's cool million XP, which is going to be 2 million for those people getting Slingshot.
There are a lot of quests in the community race related to opening things, as I recall. Open the past door, open the barren sewer.
Unlock the sealed cave. I don't know if that's actually one, but...
Yeah. Quick look in the Hummingway shop. We have things that exist. A very memey whistle.
Come on, buy the whistle.
Feed your chocobos! Just not with crystal swords. Feed your chocobos responsibly. Use carrots.
Meantime, Firebird Lover is going to use the lovely little resting spot inside the whale for making the dive into the Lunar Subterrain. I don't expect him to come back up at all, period, once he's down there. God, that's got to be Kane.
Hey, about that Dragoon Spear.
We had a White Spear once upon a time, but yeah, at this point, we've done our grind. I don't expect Fiber Lover or a Cubs Rule to take that Kane. Fiber Lover saying, yeah, too little, too late, so long.
It's fair. You've already done all of your leveling. What are you going to do about it?
I like this play by Fiber Lover is going to fade the Mura altar. Says, I don't even want to check you. I'm not going to look to see who you are. I'm just going to deep dive. And we'll take on the 4 down here.
It works great as long as there's no root wall. Now, with the power level Fiber Lover has, there's a very good chance that there is no root wall. And I don't mean an evil wall when I say a root wall. I just mean something that's really difficult to get through. Masamune is my pick for something super rude that makes this not work out so well.
So what do you think?
Fiber Lover's been playing it aggressive the whole time. I'm not surprised to see it continue.
What do you think the rudest thing left that could be at that Masa altar is? Odin, perhaps?
Magic Sisters?
Magic Sisters would definitely be rude. We are going Crystal Sword first. I love this play.
Oh yeah, we're gonna finish like the way Firebird Lover's going. I wouldn't be surprised to see grabbing the crystal at the Masamune altar and swagging it straight down.
Meantime, Cubs is going to get to the bottom of Cave Bahamut, see what's there, and probably be uttering words that cannot be received on Restream.
If Cubs wasn't already feeling behind from having to redo that D-Machine grind, this King Queen Evelyn is only going to reinforce that feeling.
In the meantime, we do have a first place finisher in this race. Karios, I hope I'm saying that right, apologies if I'm not, has finished with a final time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, 8 seconds. Followed very shortly behind by Moleboy, who has finished with 1 hour, 19 minutes, 29 seconds. So GG's to both of them.
Congratulations. The community club races and the community races themselves have a lot of people that come together, and a few of them amongst the volunteers are selected to be restreamed, but everyone is welcome to play along. It gives you a chance to run the same seed as other people at the same time and chat with them about it in the spoiler channel afterwards, learn what they did that worked, what maybe you could have done, and just in general enjoy the time with friends.
In the meantime, Fiber Lover has found Rubicante up here at the Crystal Sword altar. This being Wyvern's normal spot, the magic here, super duper well. You see those fire 2 counters are barely doing double digit damage, not even doing double digit damage to Cecil. So just zerk up your characters, tank the counters, and just move on.
Yeah, glare you think of as a kill shot, but in this spot, that might not be the truth. We do, however, get the rarely seen speech.
Oh yes, the script kill from Rubicante. I love to see that whenever you get a chance. It's, I've lost now, but I shall return. Even though actually in all reality you won't, because we've already defeated elements, so bye!
I shall return on Cubs Rule screen. Good luck.
We'll see. Cubs Rule might surprise us and go to the Mur altar instead. Then we won't see Ruby.
I don't think I've run into it playing vanilla either, Beowulf. It's like it's a counter script, so you need to be doing direct damage, which you probably are, but also it's a pretty small window. Rubicon has to be at a very low percentage of this HP to.
I want to say it's like 1 or 2%. It's very, very low.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure. I do not know the specific number.
Anyway, Cubs does go straight to the Mirror Altar, and we have... Hey, there's that Odin I was talking about.
Yeah, here's something you wouldn't be too thrilled. Well, this at Masamune's spot, little interesting. With Black Mages on Nuke, quite possibly doable. But you're not surviving the Zentetsuken down there.
Meantime, Fiber Lover finds Dark Elf in the Ribbon Room, and Dark Elf is about to have a very, very bad day.
Oh, yes. That weakness to holy damage. That Crystal Sword. Yeah, that's going to be a thing. By contrast, the magic power up here at the Mursame altar is not nearly as formidable as we see Odin come across and party just kind of shrugs.
In the meantime, we do have a third place finisher in this race. Reckless Charlie has finished 1 hour, 22 minutes, 15 seconds. GG's.
Well, if your Cecil cover strats weren't good enough, here's a Glass Helm with its 30 Absorb and nigh infinite physical evade. Granted, there is no Cecil to cover with in this party, so what are you going to do?
In the meantime, Cecil ended up being the unfortunate recipient of the weak cast by the first phase of Dark Elf. But thankfully, Cecil looks like he's going to be fast enough to take out the second phase before we end up with a whatever dark magic is. I forget what it's called again.
Dragon Breath. Hit point based fire attack. Hit point of the target.
Yeah, but there is the Ribbon Room done from Firebird Lover.
Protect Ring is solid defense. Not on the level of a Crystal Ring, but very respectable.
And Bahamut, well, that's just money.
Yes. That's just sitting there taking up space in the inventory. Feed it to the big Chocobo with the whistle that you didn't buy.
In the meantime, Cubs is on his way down, diving out into the Lunar Subterrain. Interested to see if he goes for that Crystal Sword Altar, or if it goes straight down to the density checks of the White Spear, Ribbon, and Masa spot.
Firebird Lover now heading to the White Spear altar.
Hey, we found our D-Mist. And also by process of elimination, we know what she's holding.
Get a spoon.
Yep. By process of elimination,
and then we
know
get
she
the
has
Edward
a spoon.
Hobbs. And then, oh. None of that is actually going to happen. Is sad.
So this is a little bit of a rough spot to find D-Mist in for a couple reasons. One, that Crystal Sword of Cecil's is not going to help very much. It's considered a holy weapon, which only takes half damage to the D-Mist. And secondly, this is a very, very fast spot. So that D-Mist is going to hit 3 times real quickly and then go into Mist form. And then you have to wait her out.
And there it is. D-Mist does have a counterattack if you use a fight command on D-Mist in this form. You'll barely feel the impact even at a high attack power spot or magic power spot. It's just time consuming. That's the real punishment there.
Yeah, those cold mists are not very fun to deal with. They don't do much damage, but again, it's the time. Meantime, speaking of time, Cubs Rule is through that Rubicante, picks up his apple, picks up a third objective, just needs 2 more. again, fully expect to see Cubs go down to the ribbon room first, and then decide if he wants to do this demist that's at White Spear, or if he decides to go down to the Masa altar.
Yeah, with Cubs having taken out the Murasame altar, he's got that choice to leave behind one fight. Firebird Lover has to take them all to avoid exiting out, going back to the Murasame altar, and then walking all the way back down.
But it does get through this demist in just 2 rounds, so not bad. Going to pick up a White Spear. That's, what, our 5th vanilla?
Yay, more vanilla!
That's going to leave...
Yes, it is vanilla. This is the White Spear altar.
Yeah, that's going to leave just the Masamune altar for Firebird Lover. Got Nuke on the kid, so everybody is fully leveled, ready to go. Cubs will check the White Spear altar, saw the demist, and immediately reset out. Said, nope, I am going to, first off, give some more MP to everybody, and then decide what I want to do from there.
It is a good cane weapon, but it's a good dart. It can be darted right alongside that Dragoon Spear.
So here we go. Firebird Lover is going to show us who our last boss of the seed is going to be before we get to Zoromis.
Officer and guards. This isn't so much witch as we've seen almost every spot. There aren't many options left.
No, but that is definitely an option right there.
No!
Unfortunately, the counter, yeah, the gas whiffed. Which is probably a good thing for Firebird Lover, because that gas putting everybody to sleep in this fight would have not been a fun thing.
Even just 3 people. Because there's still a lot of hit points to chew through here before the counter nukes start flying, and I don't think anybody is going to stand up. And I think we try to slip another direct nuke in here that's about to bounce if this wyvern doesn't go down soon.
Nope, it was a quake. Firebird Lover was very smart. Did not cast the nuke. Went for the quake, knowing that that wall was going to get up before nuke could get off.
Nicely done. Nicely done. First counter nuke to edge, and oh hey, what do I know? You can in fact survive a counter nuke here.
Yeah, but that's going to be 5 of 6 for Firebird Lover. Going to be the first on our restream into go mode. Picks up a Moon Veil for his troubles. But more importantly, picks up the crystal.
And are we going to see that straight swag walk? Will the aggressive play continue, or are we going to dip up real quick for a safety save?
We're going to take the safety save, and I do not blame Firebird at all for this. You just now
Angry
got the
little
levels. Yeah. Go ahead and take the safety save. Cubs roll heading down. He's going to find that wyvern, and then have the decision: do I want to take this wyvern on the whole way, or do I want to go back for that demist?
I think you make the attempt at the wyvern while you're here, but if it goes badly, you might accept the demist.
Oh, going to Veil with Rosa. Yeah, Veiling with Rosa, going to try to reflect.
Up for reflect. Yeah, because once that wall goes up, you can't direct cast these heavy hitting spells, so just start bouncing now.
Meantime, Firebird Lover is taking a look at the agility situation, trying to decide how he wants to play things.
As we've already seen, contrary to my objections, the direct nukes here are not one-shots for a Z-ready party, so it's not life potion roulette.
At least not yet.
Well, yes, Rybon, that is a 3K. Hallam, that's what happens when you do a D machine grind with 10 key items before clearing out the moon. Gets a little nuts.
There we go. Cubs Rule is through that Wyvern. That's going to be his 5th objective. It's going to get him his crystal, and we'll have to see. He's got the same decision that FBL had. Do we swag walk? Do we save? In the meantime, we have had a 4th place finish in this race. The queen of the pink puffs herself, Asuka424, finishing in 4th, 1 hour, 32 minutes, 15 seconds. GG's to Asuka.
GG's. All hail the pink puff queen.
But Cubs is swag walking it. He is heading down. Firebird Lover hot on his tails. We've got a question we should be asking about now.
Nap time, right?
Now, I was going to ask how much turkey have we eaten today?
Right. Well, that does lead to nap time.
Now, let's see Z flags coming out in chat.
What we have is... Yes.
And I will let you take it away.
Seen a lot of randomization. Bosses moved around. Scripts overlaid on weird locations. We don't do any of that with Zoromis. It's the straight up fight that you know and love from the vanilla game. So instead, Zoromis transforms into one of 500 different sprites when the crystal is used, and that is why we ask a certain question.
Whose butt are we going to be kicking tonight? And more importantly, is butt kicking.
Yes, indeed.
And our 2 feature runners are about a minute apart from each other.
And we have, drum roll please.
Well, that would be one Seto Kaiba.
Kaibamus.
Let's hope our runners
Don't know
believe in
where
the
this
heart of the
one's from.
cards. It's from Yu-Gi-Oh! Kaiba is one of the main protagonists in the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Gotcha. Well, in the
Or
meantime, we
antagonist, I
have our
guess?
5th place finisher, Funnel Cakes, finishing with a time of 1:34.22. GG.
As I said, let's hope our runners believe in the heart of the cards for this fight.
What? An alternating antagonist-protagonist in an anime? I am shocked. Shocked, I truly say. Zuko. Somewhere Zuko is listening.
There is no Big Bang in Classic Say.
There is no vanilla in Ba Sing Se.
Meantime, you've got Cubs, who is frantically bouncing spells off of a very, very fast Kaiba Miss. Firebird Lover's Kaiba Miss is not nearly as fast. I'm willing to bet that Hallam might be at the break point of 28 agility right now, because this fight seems to be a lot more in control for Firebird Lover.
Maybe with some help from a crystal ring. Hallam is a common anchor choice because of his low agility growth, but with some help, it could get him to 28. Sorry, I'm busy snapping my fingers to triple triad in my head.
Well, but we already heard the Twin Archon. We know that wasn't it. In the meantime, that is the flash, crack, boom on Cubs Rule side. Cubs Rule is finished in 6th place, 1 hour, 36 minutes, 25 seconds. GG's to Cubs, and we will see if he would like to join us for an interview here shortly. Firebird Lover is still going with his attackers plus bouncing nukes from Palom. Getting pretty standard fight, just hybrid strats, mostly those berserkers going to town. Crystal Sword Cecil doing Crystal Sword Cecil things.
As Crystal Sword Cecil does.
In the meantime, we do have a 7th place finisher. Judge Joe is finished. 1 hour, 37 minutes, 18 seconds. GG's to them.
And that Crystal Sword proving to be the main difference, motivating Firebird Lover to keep Cecil, and thus going with this hybrid approach to taking out Zoromis instead of the pure reflect strats that Cubs Rule went, lacking any sort of heavy melee damager.
Firebird Lover coming up to the unfortunate truth that unfortunately Tella is out of MP and we don't have any type of MP restorative, so Tella is just going to be standing there for the rest of this fight. Which is not going to be long because he's probably going to be down on the ground here in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, Tella does not survive unnerved Big Bangs. That is not a thing that happens.
Not unless he is
without
very, very well leveled.
Way too much apples.
In the meantime, we see that nuke staying on the screen. That means Firebird Lover has finished. He has defeated Kaibamis and is finished in 8th place. 1 hour, 38 minutes, 42 seconds. Just shy of, just a little over 2 minutes behind Cubs Rule. GG's out in chat for our 8th place finisher. And we'll see if Firebird would love to come in for an interview or not. So as we watch the spoiler log roll, we know where the only thing we're missing is that spoon. We know it's hiding behind that D-Mist. Otherwise, we found pretty much everything in this seed as we are joined by our 6th place finisher in Cubs Rule. GG.
Thank you. I'm not happy with that run.
So which part got to you the most?
It was not a perfect
the
run, but no run ever.
I think the Alt Gauntlet that led to nothing was already tilting me off the face of the planet, and then came the first D machine wipe since for a while, to be honest. So it is what it is.
Here I was thinking it was going to be once you finish your D machine, had all those levels, and then found that easy peasy King Queen Evelyn at the Cape Bahamut.
That one I just had. You know what? If you're not laughing at a 3,000 HP Palom, what are you even doing?
In the meantime, we are also joined by our 8th place finisher, Firebird Lover. GG's to you as well.
Thank you.
GG, FBL.
Good game to you too, Cubs.
So there is one thing I definitely want to ask about. You get through, you go to the top of tower. You get your tower key that's vanilla. You get your hook that's vanilla. It turns out to be nothing. And then the reset, undoing all of that. Granted, it's a very low probability that D-Mist at King Queen Evelyn is holding a Darkness Crystal, but boy, was chat speculating for a long time.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought I'd saved before checking Rat Tail. But at that point, just like, well, here we go. We're just going to pray.
I'm committed now. Fair enough.
In the meantime, we were also wondering your decision to take Rosa over Cecil before doing your grind. Was it mostly because you didn't have a quote-unquote Cecil weapon at that time?
I pretty much from the time I saw Tella, I was thinking D Machine. So I wanted the third caster.
Gotcha. Well, Firebird Lover did keep the Cecil and was very happy with the one fight down the Fey March that decided to take because of the wonderful reward that you got from that. How did you feel when you saw that pop up?
Since I had just bought the light sword, I still felt ecstatic. And even forgot to equip the light sword, so that was an interesting fight.
I assume it was a crystal sword on one.
You
of the
assume
Fey March
correctly.
It was a water haggot Leviathan with crystal sword.
You know what? I'm not upset about that. It maybe would have talked me in. Excuse me, would have talked me into taking the Yang at the Sand Ruby and then doing Sirens, but you give me a couple mages like that with a Tella and extremely early 10 key items. Yeah, I'm just gonna D-machine every time.
Yeah, a lot of runners have their own preferred comfortable methods, and there are a lot of different ways to get ready for Z and take him out, which is a very nice thing about Free Enterprise. You both had different approaches and different preferences and finished less than 2 minutes of each other.
That would make this my best finish in any of my practice seeds ever.
Well, it was a very well
Congratulations
done race on both your parts. Again, Firebird Lover, your strategy of just, once you got that Crystal Sword Cecil saying, hey, I can take on all comers, going up to the moon, doing your the two sirens for the 2 hourglasses you had on the gold dragons, and then the freebie that was King Queen Evelyn, just boosting your levels, and then Dark Elf had a really, really bad day in that ribbon room. Got you all the levels you needed. It was a very, very brilliant run through. And again, kept you in this race and made it as close as it was, where you actually were down in the Lunar Subterrain first, and got your crystal first before Cubs rule. Cubs only really got ahead of you because you decided to swag walk down.
I thought about it, but my party was just a little bit too awkward to be sure about that, particularly given that I knew my agility situation didn't exist.
Fair.
Yeah, it was very entertaining seeing an almost 4,000 HP Rosa and a 3,000 HP Hallam. Those are not things you see very often in this game.
So I do want to go back to the very beginning of the seed and that Edward up on Hobbs that neither of you decided to even try to take.
Oh.
I thought about it for a brief moment because it's not hard to get a hide off there, but you're banking on finding the spoon somewhat early at that point. It's if you're gonna take that fight and you don't get the spoon, then you're just bleeding time that you could make up elsewhere.
For me, I already had the Earth Crystals, so I wanted to, if that was a good character, I would have brought them along, but I was already planning to do a two-person Earth Crystal run, regardless of whether or not that was a good character. And Eddie wasn't worth the fight.
And that leads me to asking about a fight that was a significant stumbling block. That Elements fight. Neither of you got through it on the first go, because turns out the magic power there's a little nuts. You see it for the first time. What are your thoughts, and how are you thinking about it as you're working your way through the fight and finally getting through?
I mistargeted taking out Cecil, and that just kind of blew everything up. I was trying to put Porum down, or Porum and Palom down for the slingshots, and I accidentally moved up to Cecil, and that once Edge got cursed, there was just really no way to get through that.
I thought that was Mylon Z, and was just, this is going to be easy. And by the time I realized it wasn't, I took a fire 3 in the face.
Oh, those pesky surprise elements. That'll get you.
It's unfortunate. To be fair, I wasn't expecting Tilla to hit quad 9s on a Fire 3. I was debating just trying to reflect a Fire 3 and go for 2, but it was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, you both adjusted very well to that fight.
Yeah, I forgot how much health that spot had. My plan was to try to dart the gun gear past that stage and move on, and didn't realize it would kill him in a shot.
Well, that is about all I've got. Do you have any last thoughts, Firebird Lover Cubsrule?
No, GG FBL, well done. Looking forward to seeing what we got on our plates next week.
Man, I am too, but unfortunately I will definitely not be able to play that one. I'll be out of town. So, wish you good luck on that one.
Thank you.
Well, again, GG's to you both and well played. It was wonderful to watch and to commentate for.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again to our racers for volunteering to be restreamed, to our behind-the-scenes crew of Antidale and Harumph, and to my co-commentator Gambit. Just several of many wonderful people you'll find here in this community. Go give them all a follow. You'll see good stuff happening.
In the meantime, that's going to be it for us here on this Thanksgiving night for the Pink Puff League. I did want to do one quick shout out. We did have one more finish come in while we were doing our interview. Dubword did finish in 9th place, 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 1 second. In the meantime, we are going to send everybody off on a raid. We're going to be raiding the Satellite 54. They are doing just a casual free enterprise seed, so definitely send them our love. And we will see everyone back tomorrow night for the community race at 10 p.m. Eastern. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your Thanksgiving. Eat all the turkey you can, and we'll see you tomorrow.